Good day everyone. Today let us revise the formulae and concepts of chapter 3 and 4. Chapter 3 is matrices. Let us start with that quickly. Let us recapitulate the base. Okay. You know, a matrix is represented by a capital letter and how many rows and columns are there? That is called the order of the matrix. For example, if a matrix has m rows and n columns, you write the order of the matrix is m cross n. You will read it as m by n. Okay? Then any element, each element of a matrix is denoted by small a ij. It means the element A belonging to the ith row, jth column. That is the meaning. In case if you write A1, 3, it is the element belonging to the first row, third column, like that. So, first the basic is about the order and about this ij. If they tell you the order of the matrix, you can find how many number of elements are there. That is, for example, if you have the order of the matrix is 2 by 3, there will be 6 elements in that matrix. And if they give you the number of elements, you can tell the possible orders of the matrix. Okay, this is a very basic thing you should know. You should know all the types of matrices. If the number of rows is equal to the number of columns, you can say it is a square matrix, right? In a square matrix, there are further classifications. You have diagonal matrix. You should know the notation in this ij. That is, a diagonal matrix A is equal to Aij n cross n. That denotes it is a square matrix where Aij is equal to 0 when I not equal to j. That means wherever that I is not equal to j, that is all the other elements other than the diagonal elements, other elements will be 0 and the diagonal elements can be any number. That is called a diagonal matrix. Scalar matrix means it is also a square matrix or it is a special category of diagonal matrix which you can write as Aij n cross n, where Aij is equal to 0, I not equal to j, the same condition. Then Aij is equal to k if I is equal to j. Here the 3 diagonal elements will be the same number. In a diagonal matrix it can be different. In a scalar matrix it should be the same number. Identity matrix you all know, but I just want you to know this notation. That is, A is equal to Aij. It is equal to 1 if I is equal to j and 0 if I not equal to j. So, these are all like special categories of square matrix. Square matrix, then diagonal, then scalar, then identity. And you should also know about the row matrix and column matrix. Row matrix is one in which you have only one row. Column matrix is one in which you have only one column. Then there is something called orthogonal matrix, which we will come later when I teach you transpose. That time I will tell you. So the types of matrices is important. When do you say two matrices are equal? They should be of the same order. Condition 1. Second condition, that corresponding elements should be equal. Then only you can say two matrices are equal. Okay? Then let us come to the operations of matrices. Addition and subtraction is defined in a matrix only if they are of the same order. Otherwise, you won't be able to add or you won't be able to subtract. Okay? When it comes to multiplication, there the columns of the first matrix should be equal to the rows of the second matrix. That is the condition for multiplication to be possible between two matrices. Okay, this is important. I will say again. The columns of the first matrix should be equal to the rows of the second matrix. Just an example. Suppose your A is a matrix of order 3 by 2 and B is a matrix of order 2 by 1, the columns of the first matrix equal to the rows of the second matrix. So, AB is possible. AB is defined, we can say. What will be the order of that AB matrix? That will be 3 by 1. No, these two are equal. So, you have to consider that will be 3 by 1. So, do you understand about addition? When is it possible? Subtraction and multiplication. Okay. Let us see the three properties of multiplication. AB not equal to BA, that is multiplication is not commutative. Okay. Then A into BC is equal to AB into C. Multiplication is associative, that is the grouping, but the order should be same. You cannot change the order. Here also it is ABC, here also it is ABC. Here it is A into BC, here it is AB into C. Then it is distributive, that is A into B plus C is equal to AB plus AC. So, multiplication is not commutative, multiplication is associative, multiplication is distributive. Okay, these are three properties of multiplication of matrices. Let us see what is a transpose matrix. If the rows and columns of a matrix are interchanged, that is called transpose matrix. It is denoted by A, T or A dash. These symbols T or dash denote a transpose matrix. Let us see few properties of transpose matrix. A plus or minus B the whole T is equal to AT plus or minus BT. Okay, plus means plus and minus means minus. AT the whole T is equal to A. That is twice you are doing, right? It is like minus into minus plus like that. AT the whole T, that will be equal to A. AB the whole T is equal to B transpose A transpose. Okay, remember it? The order is changing. ABC the whole transpose is C transpose B transpose A transpose. KA the whole T is equal to K into AT, where K is a scalar. So, these are all the properties of a transpose matrix. So, each concept, if you learn about transpose matrix, you should know all the properties. If you learn about multiplication, you should know about the concepts of multiplication. When is it possible and whether it is commutative, whether it is associative, like that. If you understand this, then you can use these in the sums. Okay. Let us learn about symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. First condition, it should be a square matrix. Okay. So, if a square matrix AT is equal to A, that is called a symmetric matrix. In a square matrix, if the transpose is equal to the given matrix, then it is called a symmetric matrix. In that, if you check the elements, Aij will be equal to Aji. That is, A12 will be equal to A21. A13 will be equal to A31. Like that. Okay. Then, if AT is equal to minus A, it is called a skew symmetric matrix. Here, Aij will be equal to minus Aji. That is, if your A12 element is 2, then your A21 element will be minus 2, like that. So, symmetric and skew symmetric both should be square matrices. If AT is equal to A, it is symmetric. If AT is equal to minus A, it is called skew symmetric. Then, you must know some properties about these symmetric matrices and skew symmetric matrices. If you take A as a square matrix A plus AT will be a symmetric matrix always. Okay. If A is any square matrix, A plus AT is always symmetric and A minus AT is always skew symmetric. Using this property, any matrix A can be expressed as a sum of a symmetric matrix and a skew symmetric matrix. Okay, that is A can be written as half of A plus A dash or A transpose. I will write, I will put a bracket, plus A minus A. You can check here itself, 80 goes 2A by 2, so you will get A. Here, this you know will be a symmetric matrix, this you know will be a skew symmetric matrix. So, any matrix, that is any square matrix A can be expressed as a sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrices, and that is given by half into A plus AT plus A minus AT. Is this clear to you? For any square matrix A into A transpose or A transpose into A will be symmetric. Okay? Then the main diagonal elements of a skew symmetric matrix are all 0. A very important property you should remember. Actually, you can call it main diagonal, or that is only called diagonal, right? That is, it is starting from, supposing you have a 3 by 3 like this. This is called the diagonal. All the diagonal elements will be 0 in a skew symmetric matrix, which you have to remember. Then, if A is symmetric, then A power n the whole transpose, that will be equal to A power n. Because you know AT is equal to A power n the whole transpose, that will be equal to A power n. If A is skew symmetric, there are two cases. If your n is an even positive integral, it will be equal to A power n. If n is an odd positive integral, it will be equal to minus A power n. Okay? Then, which is the matrix which is both symmetric and skew symmetric? Only null matrix is the one which is both symmetric and skew symmetric. Okay? So, now you have learned many things regarding the operations of matrices, transpose matrix and symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. Let us go further. I was telling you about orthogonal matrix, isn't it? That is, if A into AT is equal to I, A is called orthogonal matrix and the determinant value of A will be equal to plus or minus 1. Actually, the determinant chapter we are going to take next. But anyway, I thought I wanted to mention about this orthogonal matrix, so I have told this concept. Then one more concept in which MCQ can be asked is, you have mathematical induction example sum and there are some sums in your miscellaneous exercise. In that, one sum is A is equal to cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. A power n will be cos n theta, it will become a multiple here, sin n theta minus sin n theta cos n theta, where n belongs to n. This concept you have to use in some MCQs where they may give you like this and they may ask you A power 5 or A power 7 or whatever it is. So, whatever be the n given, that should come here as a multiple of the angle. So, just remember this concept. So, the matrices, I have taught you all the concepts. Now let us move on to determinants. Of course, they are both combined only, but anyway, let us go to determinants now. Every square matrix has a number associated with it, and that is called the determinant. Only square matrices have determinants. Okay, you all know how to expand and how to find the determinant value of a 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 determinants, right? Now, you should know the determinant. This is the symbol, and Mij means minor of an element. Aij or Cij means cofactor of an element. Actually, the minor you will be finding by deleting that ith row and jth column, and whatever be the subdeterminant you get, if you expand, that is called a minor. Then, what is the relationship between this minor and cofactor? Cofactor, we can say it is the minor with proper sign attached to it, we can say. That is, Aij is minus 1 power I plus j into Mij. So, the Aij, that is the cofactor, will be equal to the minor if I plus j is even, and it will be equal to negative of that if I plus j is odd. So, you should know how to find the minor of any element, how to find the cofactor of any element. Okay? You don't have properties of determinants, but you should know these two. That is, when you multiply an element by the cofactor of it, that is A11 capital A11 plus A12 capital A12 plus A13 capital A13, see, both will be same. Then when you add these three, that will be equal to the determinant value. Okay? Whereas if you multiply it by the cofactors of some other row or column, for example, A11, A21, here it is first row, here it is second row, A12, A22, A13, A23, if you add, then it is equal to 0. So just remember, that is, each element by its own cofactor gives you delta, that is the determinant value. Each element multiplied by the elements of other row or column, that gives you only 0. Just remember this fact. Okay? Now, few more terms. Adjoint A. What is adjoint matrix A? That is, you know this capital Aij is cofactor matrix, because when you use this capital Aij, that will be a matrix consisting of the cofactors. If you transpose the cofactor matrix, that is called adjoint A. Okay? Now, I just want to tell you one shortcut for finding the adjoint A of a 2 by 2 matrix. For a 3 by 3 you have to work out, but for a 2 by 2 I will tell you how you can find the adjoint. Just let us take some A is equal to 2 minus 3, 4 minus 5, right? Now, how can we find the adjoint? Now, the adjoint A will be, I told you this is the diagonal, right? So, you interchange the elements of the diagonal. That means this minus 5 will come here and 2 will come here, right? Just interchange it, whatever be the sign. Then you have two other elements. Just change the sign of the two elements. So this will become plus 3, this will become minus 4. This is the adjoint A. Even if you find the cofactor matrix and transpose, you will get the same thing. But this is a shortcut which you can apply for 2 by 2 matrices alone. Okay? Tell you again, adjoint A, the diagonal elements you interchange. The other two elements you change the sign. That is called the adjoint A. Okay. So now this is adjoint A, that is over. Then what is inverse of a matrix? That is A inverse. This is the symbol you have to write. A inverse, it is not 1 by A, okay? A inverse is 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. Adjoint A and inverse A are matrices. You should know what is a matrix and what is a determinant clearly. Okay, so it is 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. Determinant A you can calculate and adjoint A you have to find, and using this formula you will be getting the A inverse. Now, if the determinant A is not equal to 0, then the matrix A is called non-singular. Then only A inverse exists. Okay? Because you know, if this becomes 0, here you will get an infinity, isn't it? It will not be defined. So, only when your determinant A not equal to 0, that matrix is called a non-singular matrix and A inverse exists. If determinant A is equal to 0, the matrix is called singular matrix and A inverse does not exist. Okay. Few properties, very important properties which you have to use in solving the MCQs. A into A inverse will be equal to A inverse into A. That will be equal to I. That is identity matrix of the same order. A into I is equal to I into A, that will be equal to A. That is, if you multiply any matrix by I matrix, you will get the same matrix, right? A inverse the whole transpose is equal to A transpose the whole inverse. Then these two are called reversal laws. AB the whole inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. You remember, even in transpose, AB the whole transpose is B transpose A transpose. Then ABC the whole inverse is C inverse B inverse A inverse. Then determinant A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant A. So these are all very important concepts you should know. Let us learn a few more. Determinant AB is equal to determinant A into determinant B. Okay. Determinant Ka, that is K is a scalar. That will be equal to K power n into determinant A, where n is the order of the matrix. Okay. This is a very important concept. Then determinant A power n is equal to determinant A the whole power n. This is 2 times, no? A inverse the whole inverse. That will be A. It is also similar to AT the whole transpose is A, like that. Now, this 10th one may be used in the sums. That is, if you get AB is equal to 6i, AB is equal to 4i, AB is equal to 8i, like that. That is, the product is equal to some I matrix and some scalar. In that case, you may have to use these concepts. That is, I am now pre-multiplying both sides by A inverse. So, I get A inverse AB is equal to 6A inverse I. So, here because I am multiplying by I will get 6A inverse. You know, A inverse A is I into B will be B. So, B is equal to 6A inverse. So, A inverse will be 1 by 6B. Similarly, I am post multiplying by B inverse. So, I get B inverse is equal to 1 by 6A. This will be useful for you to solve some sums. So, you should know this. Okay. Adjoint of AB, that is equal to adjoint B into adjoint A. See, the order has changed. Okay. Then A into adjoint A will be equal to adjoint A into A. That is equal to determinant A into I. Adjoint of A transpose is equal to adjoint A the whole transpose. Then the next one is very important. determinant adjoint A, that will be equal to determinant A power n minus 1. Actually, the next is derived from that only. It is determinant adjoint of adjoint A is equal to determinant A power n minus 1 the whole squared. Here there is no determinant. Adjoint of adjoint A is equal to determinant A power n minus 2 into A. Adjoint A the whole inverse is equal to adjoint of A inverse. You have to study these concepts again and again for the 2 days so that you will remember these things for solving the sums. Only now 3-4 concepts remain. Let us finish that also. Okay. If A is a diagonal matrix, okay, then the determinant A will be what are the diagonal elements? A11, A22, A33 like that. It will be the product of the diagonal elements. If it has 4 diagonal elements, up to A44. 3 means up to 3. So that is the value of determinant A. If A is a skew symmetric matrix and if it is of odd order, that is 1, 3, 5 like that, then the determinant value is 0. You need not calculate anything. If A is a skew symmetric of even order like 2, 4 etc., the determinant A will be a non-zero perfect square number only. Supposing they give you options, you have to check which number is a perfect square and that will be the answer. Then, if they give you the 3 vertices of a triangle, what is the area of a triangle using determinants? A is equal to half determinant x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1, where x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3 are the coordinates of the 3 vertices of the triangle. If they say the condition for collinearity of the 3 points, then naturally the area will be equal to 0. You can use that property and find it out. So now we have discussed all the concepts in chapter 3 and chapter 4. Hope you are clear about them. It will be useful for you, I think, for the exam. Thanks for watching the video.